one. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. We're back with another episode of the Insurance Bro Show. All of you insurance pros out there, let's dive in to another episode. But before we do, just a quick reminder to please subscribe on whichever platform it is that you're catching us on today. Give us a like, give us a follow, subscribe, and drop a review and help other like-minded insurance agents find value from our awesome guests as we rise up in those podcast rankings. We'll really sincerely appreciate you for it. And if you want to be a guest on the show, I'd love to have you on and learn from you too. Go to www.insurancebroshow.com/guest and schedule your time slot. And don't forget to follow me on all my social media at Insurance Bro Show. We are super excited and honored to bring another incredible guest to the Insurance Bro Show. Our guest today runs a full-service digital marketing agency where he and his team help agents get more leads and help convert those leads into sales. Our guest knows that your website's most important function is conversion rate, and the same can be said for your entire online presence. Many insurance agents don't use social media at all, while very few utilize these online platforms to their fullest potential. Our guest is here to help change all of that and provide a new, exciting landscape to the insurance industry. Joining us today from Jumpstart Go, marketing for insurance agents, welcome to the show, David Denning!
The Insurance Bro Show is a podcast for agents who want to grow their agency and be titans of the insurance industry. Learn from a panel of experts who share their agency struggles, their experiences with the nation's best carriers, and share the marketing secrets that successful insurance agents are using today. Now, here's your host, the Insurance Bro, James Cias.
All right. Welcome,
Love
David. Thank you. Thanks. Thanks so much for joining us, man. Really appreciate you. So, as I said in the intro, so many insurance agents, and I talk about this all the time, there's like a problem with our industry that we're boring. Right? Like it's a boring product. It's a boring industry. I look at our real estate agent counterparts and they're having so much fun on social media. They're posting all their pictures, all of their sold signs and all these different things. And, you know, they really do a great job of making real estate look fun and sexy. How can we do that? You know what? Tell us a little bit about yourself first, how you got into this space, and how can we make the insurance space more fun and sexy?
Absolutely, yeah. I'm Dave Denning, CEO of Jumpstart Go. Myself and my partners run the Marketing for Insurance Agents Facebook group, about 16,000 agents across the country, all different lines, captive, independent. Really there, made it for a resource for agents to connect, find referral partners, learn a bit, just connect with people and, a good space for the industry. It's really what the goal of that was. It's an industry that, for 100 years didn't change much and didn't really need to. It's necessary. It's made the most millionaires of any industry out there. People need it. But is it the sexiest, most entertaining topic to talk about and discuss? Only if you can figure out how to make it so. And so I think a lot of agents and agencies really struggle with that because, you can see it reflected in their social, in their marketing, in their campaigns. And you see a lot of people just running still old school, like, no, we'll run some billboards, we'll run some stuff in magazines, maybe radio,
Trust
TV.
me, I'm your guy.
Yeah. And it doesn't stand out. It's not interesting. People don't like to think about bad things happening. So that seems to be the go-to approach of insurance agents of what happens if you die, or what happens if your car runs into a deer or whatever, and people are like, nah, that won't happen to me.
Well, that's the whole point of insurance, right? Is to cover you in case of those things happening. So that's like the only thing that we have to sell on is when bad shit happens. So how are you changing that for us? What is Jumpstart Go doing? How is the marketing game changing for us as insurance agents?
So we really coach and train agents on a lot of different things as a part of our Closures Click program. It's kind of our main program where we do that on a weekly, day-to-day basis with different coaches and trainers and stuff. But what we really focus on a lot with them is really, one, focusing a lot on them personally. their own personal brand themselves, and people working with people, not companies and corporations and giant entities. People want to work with them specifically, and people they know they're going to listen and take care of them, and be their agent and get the best solutions for them, the best coverage for them, and everything with that. And so too many agents and agencies, they just really focus on trying to leverage their company name if maybe they're captive, or if they're in the independent side, they are doing stuff on their business page and trying to like push their company name out there, of which no one knows independent names of companies. They only know
insurance,
person.
man.
Yeah, they just know the person. And so,
Right.
a lot of agents aren't really using their personal profiles and, leveraging those to connect with people, to get in front of people, of course, which Facebook's algorithm and reach on the personal profiles is way different than off a business page, where you're not going to get a ton of reach and in front of a lot of people and engagement versus your personal. So we teach really heavily on really combining that your personal life and your personal brand and your personality along with the insurance side and marketing, because it's so closely tied.
Yeah, absolutely.
Your business is your life also. I mean, it's hard to separate the two.
Yeah, and we all know that insurance is a relationship-based business, right? So every customer that we have on the insurance side of things, every customer that we get tends to learn who we are. We tend to generate those relationships or create those relationships and keep them for the long term. And we really do get to know, if we're doing our jobs right, we really do get to know these customers and to have them on as friends, as on the personal page. There's no reason why not. Like, it's so weird to me to have friends that I would only be liking their business page. It's so often that I get somebody reaching out to me on their personal page, and then they're like, hey, well, you like my business page too, and not really the other way around. So can you tell me a little bit about how the algorithm works differently there? Why do we get so much reach on our personal page compared to the business page, and how can we best leverage that?
Well, I mean, to really think about that, you've got to look through Facebook's lens, and their motivations behind everything as well. I mean, Facebook is a business. It's a platform. It's a public entity, and so they want to make money. Originally, yeah, and still is. Really focuses on engaging people with each other, and everything on that personal profile side, which is why they want to facilitate that, and your personal stuff gets reach, and they want to show it to your friends and people you're connected with, and really facilitate those relationships. But when you look at it from the business side, Facebook wants to get paid. That's how it makes its money. It doesn't make its money from those personal connections and what you're doing on your personal profile. That's why it was, people knew the business opportunity of it, which is why it was valued at millions and billions without ever having a revenue stream. It's because they knew the ads were going to have a huge audience they could run to. And so it's the same with your business profile. Your business profile and page, they want you to pay to play. They want you to run ads. They want you to spend money. They want you to boost posts, which don't boost posts, guys. That's you want to run ads. But that's another
pro tip number one.
Pro tip number one: don't boost your posts. Or if you do it through the ads manager and actually make sure you have the correct targeting and everything. But in general, it's pay to play. They don't want you. They want to spread your business page and the stuff you're posting there in front of a bunch of people without you paying for it. I mean, that goes against what they're wanting to do. And let's be fair, most of the business content that people are dropping on pages and stuff aren't that entertaining or really that useful or great for people. They're straight up usually ads pretty much that people are just posting, like, work with me, come get a quote, I'll give you a free insurance quote. Another pro tip: no one's ever paid for an insurance quote in their lives, guys. Like, get a free insurance quote is that it doesn't make you stand out against anybody. In fact, people are like, do people normally pay you? Like, is that your only incentive for your marketing, that it's a free insurance quote? Like, you're going to charge me normally? So anyways.
Yeah, I mean, obviously.
Yeah. But if you look at your business page, typically, the most recent last I was looked, it was like 3 to 8% of your pages, followers or people who have liked your page will see any given post. You're talking about if you have 1,000 people following your page.
Is this on your personal page?
No,
3 to 8%?
This is on your business page.
On your business page, okay.
So you have 1,000 people following that page or liking that page, and you post, maybe 30 to 50 might see that out of 1,000. Wow. Like, Facebook doesn't want you to have a ton of reach off your business page. It's good to have some content there. It's good to occasionally like cross post or share, and stuff on your page. But in general, the most useful thing about a business page is you have to have it to run ads. And that's the most useful thing. And when people look up for social proof, seeing reviews on your business page, that you have content there, that you're a real person and agency,
Right.
especially on the independent side where they don't know much about you. So they're going to go look you up on social. That's really the main use of it. You're not going to get a ton of leads, engagement, and people flowing through a business page outside of ads. Your personal, absolutely, they want to put that in front of people. And so really leveraging your personal to combine your personal brand with just your daily life, your kids, your family, your hobbies, along with, the insurance side is really the way to leverage that. And so we teach different stuff and kind of building up engagement through personal posts and kind of engagement fun type things that get people like, oh, I like their content, I like following it, which tells Facebook, you know what, put that in front of more people. The people like their stuff. And then you kind of whip in a business kind of focused post, not straight up just like call me for a quote, because no one pays attention.
A free quote.
Like blinders. It's like it's just like with ads in general. Like people subconsciously just don't even see it. Like it's like I forget the technical term, like the blindness, like ad blindness or whatever, because they, based on the wording, based on how it looks, everything, they already know it's an ad, and so their brain doesn't even recognize it anymore because they're so used to scrolling past it or whatever. And so yeah, you got to make your content on the business side stand out too. But what you do is you get that reach, that engagement with your normal stuff, and then you have the business, and that'll get shown to all those people as well. It probably won't get as much engagement and activity on it as like your other post, but it got in front of a bunch more people. And yes, you will have leads and referrals and things come through that. And the key is to kind of mix it up a bit.
So do you have like kind of a rule of thumb? You said 3 to 8% is going to be your reach on your business posts. What's the difference between the business post versus your personal page? Do you know the numbers there?
The numbers on your personal are all going to depend on the number of connections you have, how often you're posting, how much engagement you're generating with that post. So it can vary significantly. It is way higher than that 3 to 8%. So, and it's not just based on your friends as well, because Facebook, especially if something's getting engagement and trending, will put it in front of more people outside of even your direct audience, which is why it's so key to build up your influence and your engagement on your personal, because that can get out even outside of your own network, which is great when people are wanting to send you referrals. They're like, oh, I was trying to think of, who's someone I can send to for auto insurance. Oh, it's that person. I'm seeing their content's popping in front of me. Let me just tag my buddy on it who I know needs, a quote or whatever and stuff. But it's not an exact science or number, and Facebook doesn't publicly release all the, thousands of different data points that go into their algorithm. But just even based on the engagement, that you're getting way more reach on your personal profile than you will on a business page.
One of the problems, one of the obstacles, one of the fears that people have when they're talking about creating content is, I'm not creative. I don't know what to post on my personal page. Most of the time I'm just sharing memes that I see from everybody else. I'm not that creative. I'm not a content creator necessarily, aside from this podcast, right? So what do you tell people that have exactly this problem? How did they go about creating content on their personal page that they can transition and lead people to their business page?
Yeah, so you don't have to be a content creator. In fact, a lot of the people in our Closers Click program didn't really have much of a social presence at all, and definitely weren't content creators or ever when they came in. And so, that was one of the first areas we really helped them a lot with. And a lot of that is, so part of your content is your personal daily life. And if it's a lack of content there, it's just a lack of putting stuff
effort
on social. It's not that you have to be a content creator. It's, pictures with your family, playing sports, out at picnic, holidays,
Do I have to put pictures of my food?
Food. Let's be honest here. One of the agents who's a serial agency owners, who's also a serial entrepreneur with other businesses as well within the Closers Click, he literally just went and bought a food truck. And now he's going to be doing food truck stuff as well, but he's also going to be having his insurance information and stuff on there that they can ask about quotes and stuff as well. And he'll also have the information of another person within there who's insured his food truck on the P&C side on there as well. So as he connects with other food trucks, that they can get their food trucks insured too. So, nice. There's ways to leverage that. But he found out, part of the reason he even went that route is he found out he was doing some posts, on the insurance side, but he also likes cooking and grilling up and, kind of doing a bunch of different stuff there. And those videos got thousands and thousands of views. And he's like, wait a second, I can kind of mix my like food stuff along with the insurance side, and maybe that's even a particular niche I can dive into. And so you'll find out if we actually did a live recently yesterday or on Monday with someone talking about branding down to a specific niche, and her niche is food trucks. She loves insuring food trucks, and and she's very passionate about them and eating at them and everything. And so really you'll find that a lot of your personal passions and stuff can be reflected and pulled into the insurance side as well, whether that's a particular niche you brand around, you associate with, that you just know really, really well. Like there's another agent, huge soccer person, grew up playing tons and tons of soccer, and he does commercial insurance on the P&C side. And so he started rolling out like concussion prevention programs to these different soccer organizations, which lower their premiums for their insurance. And so that's his connection with these different organizations. You say, hey, I can help you get lower premiums plus insure you or whatever. And, he'll roll that stuff out. And it's his passion because he loves soccer. And that's one of those things. He also specializes in insuring breweries. Loves breweries. He knows them really well, so that when you don't want to be a generalist in this industry. You don't want to be like, I can insure anything and everything. And, I know it all. I know a little bit about it all. You want to be the person like, I know this really, really well. Well, that anybody in that industry is going to work with you because that's what you know. Like you don't come to someone, who just focuses on maybe final expense and be like, oh yeah, I need an annuity expert, someone to help me with my annuities and retirement planning. Okay, those are two totally different areas and skill sets, even though they're both life insurance or whatever. The same on the health side. Someone that focuses on Medicare, you're under 65 and be like, oh, I need someone to help me with, a marketplace plan or a private plan for myself. And they're like, oh, I do Medicare. Like, you want to be a specialist with your area because people know you're the expert.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with that. The riches are in the niches. We say this all the time.
Love it. Chris Green says the same thing. Yeah.
yeah. No, it's absolutely true, especially in the insurance industry, because like you're saying, it's so easy for us to want to market to everybody, and when everybody is our target, we really have no target. And getting into specifically insurance, there's so many things to know and so many ways that we can miss out and so many mistakes that we can make if we are generalists. When we niche down and pick a specific industry, occupation type, whatever, we'll have that much more knowledge specifically in that industry, and it's going to make us that much more effective and that much better at everything that we do. I really love the way that you guys are doing this. So we talked about creating these ads, and if we're afraid of not having the creativity, and pulling our personal lives into what we're already doing, I really, really enjoy that, because there's so many times that, exactly like you're saying, I'm thinking of one real estate agent that I know that also does cooking himself, so it's like food, it keeps tying into all these different things. But whatever other industries that you might be into, whatever other hobbies that you might have. I'm personally a birder, right? So I love birds. I take pictures of birds all the time, and finding ways to work that into my story, into my content, and finding ways to tie that into my business. Yeah. And do you guys provide the coaching for these types of things? Tell me a little bit about the services that you guys provide at Jumpstart to help somebody like me who, my social media game is not great. It's certainly not, Gary V level. But I'm trying to.
You're Gary V level,
right?
Sleep, so
yeah. so what kind of coaching, what kind of services do you guys provide at Jumpstart to help people increase their online exposure?
Yeah, and happy to chat about that. So you mentioned the birding. I was gonna say you should definitely come down here, Cape Coral in Southern Florida, as we have our own little private community of burrowing owls that are here.
Cool.
And they're little tiny owls. They burrow holes and live under the ground, and they all hang out here, and they're protected and endangered. And so they build something on someone's property, they can't build there. Their property, no buildings happening. So they're awesome. So birders from all over come to check these guys out.
It's fantastic. Cape Coral. I'm putting that on my list.
Yep. I'll buy a drink. But yeah, so as far as ourselves and our services, so The Marketing for Insurance Agents group is free. We do some different training and different stuff in there and connect people with resources and referral partners and stuff. That's just a great thing that's available for all agents and agency owners to really come in, and it's a great free resource that we put together for them. As far as ourselves, our main focus is our program called the Closers Click, and that's really for experienced agents and agency owners that really want to take their business to the next level. And it's very comprehensive. Outside of the only thing we don't teach is like product knowledge and carriers, because we do it for all different lines, both captive and independent for this. It doesn't matter where people are working or their contracts are at, but we're not going to teach them their own products and carriers. We're going to teach them everything besides that. And so what we really focus on a ton is kind of what we call our 4 pillars of really where 95% of agents and agency owners problems fall into, which is why you see the same questions and struggles by so many in the industry, and honestly why 92% don't make it out the first couple of years. And the first being a consistent, full, and quality pipeline. If you don't have that and people to talk to, then really the rest doesn't really matter that much. And so we dive into organic social media, like we've been talking about, and really how to generate leads and referrals off of social, and use that without even necessarily needing an ad budget or anything like that. And then strategic referral relationships, building out even beyond just the real estate and mortgage loan officer ones, which of course on the P&C side are great options like CPAs, divorce attorneys on the life side, and so on. And then generating your own leads, whether it's from Facebook ads, AdWords, YouTube ads. There are many different ways to generate your own and run your own ads, in which we teach. We actually just finished up a series on that. And then working with vendors. There's tons of lead vendors out there, how to find the right ones, how to negotiate with them, how to set that up and optimize your lead cost and really, maximize your ROI off of those. All those different ones, preferably a combination of those for filling up and having a quality and consistent pipeline, which is normally the first issue. The second area that we focus on a ton is getting those people to sales calls and appointments, rather than spending all your time trying to just manually call them and hopefully reach them, which no one answers the phone anymore. I'm a millennial. If I don't recognize the number, hey, I'm not answering it. Like,
That's right.
I don't want to talk on the phone anyway. But yeah, that's people nowadays.
Text me first.
No one picks up anymore. And that's because most of it's spam. And so there we focus on automations, software, tools, different things they can implement in order to spend more of their time on the sales calls and appointments, rather than trying to get people to those sales calls and appointments, where so many people waste so much time. Their time's so valuable, which is another concept, talking about of agents not valuing their time. They're like, oh, I got my leads for free. I just do networking events. It's like you spent 10 hours at a networking event and got 1 lead. That's the most expensive lead you've ever paid for in your life. It's not free. The time is worth money.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's a concept as well. But anyways, focusing on automations, tools, systems to get them to appointments and sales. And then focusing obviously on sales side, how to convert the most, whether it's telesales or face-to-face. We teach and train on that. And then as well as getting referrals and reviews and testimonials, which honestly, don't focus on that as well. And that's the social proof that you really need. Like I mentioned, millennials, we're going to go look you up. And if you don't have reviews and the person down the road has like 50, we're going with that person all day long, every day. And so, especially on like life and health side, they sometimes will sell someone, a policy and you don't hear from them for a year. And it's like, oh, a year later, oh yeah, can I get a review from you? It's like, you disappeared after you told me a policy. They're like, peace out, I got paid, I'm done. Later, man. There's no real renewals on the life side for the most part. So it's like, peace. Maybe I'll check in with you a year later. But yeah. And then finally, the fourth pillar being scaling your agency. So hiring, how to find the right people, how to bring them in, how to set them up for success, and really just how to grow more into an agency owner rather than a producer, which as an agency owner, you're responsible for so much more than the producer side. So we really teach and train on all of that. We have three trainings a week where we do a deep dive on training, and we hold them accountable for action items from that at the end of the week, because it's all entirely results focused. We don't teach and be like, hey, go use it if you want or whatever, like, because we're pretty selective with the people that come in, because they need to be the action takers that are going to do it, and so they can get results. And that's why people within the program are having record months, hiring additional producers and growing and scaling their agencies, because they're putting the stuff into action. Sometimes surprised by it. They're like, oh, I did this thing and I got leads and referrals. I was like, yeah, that's the point. That's why we told you to go do it. And they're like, well, I've tried a lot of stuff and it hasn't come through. So yeah, I was surprised. But yeah, it's a lot of accountability, mastermind, knowledge share. It's kind of like a family within there. So everybody's sharing what they're doing, what's working. It's not the like secrets. Like I'm not sharing anything with you. And then a lot of referral business back and forth. So that's really where we're able to spend a lot of time and deep dive with them week over week to really help them push and grow their agencies. And we have coaches like Victor Gonzalez and Sandra Gerhardt that are part of that. John Lucero, he's a farmers DM with about 40 farmers agencies underneath him. He's one of the coaches as well. So I mean, we've got top coaches and trainers to really push them week by week, and we'll add additional coaches and trainers and have special guests come in and talk as part of it as well. But yeah, that's kind of what we're doing as a part of that.
That's awesome. All right,
a 10.
Exactly. A 10. I got two last questions for you. The first one, I mean, I want to hear all about the tools and the automations because I'm a systems guy and I want to dive in and get into all that, but we're not going to have time for all of that. So my real question to you is, you are passionate. I mean, I can see it in your face. I can feel it. You have the energy.
I do a lot of Facebook Lives, man. I'm always on.
I love it. Same here. But why? What is it about what you're doing that you love so much? Why are you as passionate about what you're doing and how you're helping people?
I think at my core, personally, I'm very driven by relationships. So I'm an extrovert. So talking to people, helping people is like a huge energy thing for me, and I love it. And so I love building relationships and helping people as much as possible. So that's why I'm passionate about the Marketing for Insurance Agents group, because we can do that and help people at a very large scale. And that's why I'm so passionate about the Closers Click, because we can help people way more on a personal basis with that as well. And so at the end of the day, I want to help people be successful, entrepreneur, building businesses, and have built businesses. And I know it's a struggle. I know it's tough. I know that probably the best investments and things that we've ever done is investing in coaches and trainers and programs that allow us to skip the mistakes that we would have made and advanced quicker, which honestly, a lot of the time previously, we would just struggle through and try to figure out ourselves and either, stall and run in a hamster wheel and never grow, or just feel frustrated. Like, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. I don't know how to implement that, the whole roadmap portion. Yep. So I'm passionate because we do have the roadmap and we can do the help, and we have the results and testimonials and of the people within the program. So I know it works. I know it's awesome, and I know they're doing amazing. So that's why I'm passionate about it. Like I would never want to ever represent anything that I know is not going to make a difference and not be supportive. And honestly, there's a lot of stuff out there that's like that, and or maybe just it's okay, but it doesn't really push you to have that success. So at the end of the day, that's why I'm passionate. I love this stuff. Honestly, I wasn't sure how much I would love this industry. It's like, oh, it's insurance. Like anybody coming to the insurance industry that hasn't been in the industry, it's kind of like, insurance industry. Well, I guess there's a money thing there, but it doesn't really seem that interesting. The average person doesn't think about insurance except for when they're required to get it, or if someone
monthly when they pay their bill. That's about it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Pay their bill, or someone passes away, like GoFundMe. Yeah, I wish I would have had a life insurance.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, that's the only time, And so I think we all know the importance of it and the difference it makes in people's lives. And so finding ways for agents and agency owners to be more effective at helping people and getting them protected is absolutely key. And I love that, because at the end of the day, I'm not just helping the agents and agency owners, I'm helping all the people that they're helping with. That really makes a difference in your lives. If you have the proper coverage protection, whether it's P&C, health, especially health, and life insurance or whatever, like that literally saves lives and makes huge differences in generational wealth and all this stuff that if you don't, it's financial ruin. I mean, and it's the total opposite in the spectrum. So
he ain't lying.
Love it. He ain't lying. All right.
He's on my lives, yeah.
So the last question for you, for our listening audience, how can people get in touch with you if they want to be part of the Jumpstart Go crew, and if they want to be part of the Closers Click?
So the easiest thing first is the Marketing for Insurance Agents group. literally search marketing for insurance agents. Facebook, it'll pop up. We're one of the largest Facebook groups out there for agents and agency owners. So coming in there is easy. Literally David Denning on Facebook. If you come look for the group, or Jumpstart Go page, you can find me. So shoot me a friend request. I love being friends with agents and agency owners, and then shoot me a message. I live on Facebook for better or worse. Honestly, if it wasn't for business, I wouldn't have a Facebook at all. I hate Facebook outside of business and agency side. I think most millennials do probably. But
I'm sorry, I took it too far.
I took it too far. Okay. No, Facebook's great. Everybody loves Facebook, especially the government. But
Yes.
yeah, right now, right? But yeah, marketing for insurance agents, coming through there, and shoot me a friend request, a message. I respond to everything. I would love to connect with them, and they can chat with us about the Closers Click and seeing if that might be a fit for them. Is probably the easiest. I mean, at the end of the day, our whole goal is to get agents and agency owners ringing that bell day in and day out. And so,
Nice.
I mean, so everybody in the Closers Click has these old school bells that when we do wins at the end of the week in advance of their business, they all ring the bells. So
We're not just doing this for money. We're doing it for a shitload of money.
It's great.
Quality
All right.
work, man. You're firing all cinders with these things.
You know, that's all Hernan. He's in the background doing all this. So he's awesome. He's awesome.
Credit where credit's due, man. So yeah.
That's right. That's right. So, I lied. One last question here.
Okay.
Who would you recommend to be the next guest on the Insurance Bro Show?
Man, I could give you a list of 30 right now. I
love it.
I mean,
Pick
yeah.
one.
So, I mean, I literally have lists here. Chris Green, if you haven't had Chris Green, the flood insurance guru, he is absolutely fantastic. Victor Gonzalez, he's one of our coach trainers, but I mean, he's been everything from the largest captive agency in the country. He was at $90 million book, and now he has his own indie agency in Florida, and he absolutely crushed at telesales and one call closing type stuff. And so, yeah, he's awesome. Sandra Gerbhardt, marketing whiz, automations. If you want to talk automations and systems and processes, she would definitely be the person to chat with. Joe Camper, young gun in the industry, but he's doing some amazing things with their agency, and they even have a franchise model that's absolutely fantastic. But he's always an amazing one to talk with as well. On the life side, Jeff Root is huge. He's awesome guy. For really content creation, SEO for generating insurance leads. And he's spoken at a bunch of conferences about that, written books. He runs a whole digital agency. There's a brilliant. I mean, John Lucero, who I mentioned earlier, I mean, he's come up through this industry, and he literally has 40 agencies underneath him that he's responsible for.
Love it.
Yeah.
Wonder if you'd be willing to tag.
I'll send you a list. Don't worry.
Yeah. Would you be willing to tag anybody on there after this is all once we get this going?
Tag all of them, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome.
No problem.
All right. Well, that does it, man. Seriously, I've learned so much from you, David. I thank you so much for being on the show with us today. So much value. I really, more than anything, I love and appreciate the passion behind what you're doing. I can really sense it, and I think that it's definitely part of the reason why you're as successful as you are. That insurance, the marketing for insurance, the Jumpstart Go, I joined it today. So, you got another member. It's 15,000 strong, almost 16,000 there. It's big. It's huge. And I appreciate your time and hanging out with us today.
Anytime, man. Always happy to hop on. So thanks. I really appreciate it.
Yep. All right. And everybody else listening, thank you all, as always, for tuning in. Really appreciate every single one of you. You guys already know it. You have my heart. You rock my socks. Oh.
Have a nice day.
Thank you for tuning in to the Insurance Bro Show. James is the CEO of the Pipeline team of San Diego and is always in the market for top talent. If you're an agent looking for a place to hang your license, visit www.pipelineinsurance.com/agent opportunities or send an email to newagent@pipelineinsurance.com. Look for James on all social media